What's up YouTube, it's your boy CJ. Back at y'all again with another video. And as you can see in the title, today I will be sharing my experience with you all that I had with filing And today I will be sharing with you all my experience that I had with AppleCare. But before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. A like is always appreciated. Be sure to smash that subscribe button and join the family. If you are a returning subscriber, you already know how we do it here. So let's get right into this video. In this video, I will be talking about my experience with AppleCare and my iMac. So previously, I have documents here so I can give y'all an accurate timestamp on the steps in which they happened. So initially, I purchased this computer February 2019 from Best Buy. The iMac that I purchased from Best Buy was a iMac Retina 4K 21.5 inch 2017 model. That was the model that I bought of the iMac. Right out of the box, my wife was the primary user of this iMac. And she was using it for simple web surfing. She runs her own business. She was using it for stuff like that. Nothing too heavy on editing. It was just simple everyday web browsing, printing documents, basic usage. So the computer was slow initially upon using it. So I thought it was just something that came with the computer. We had the computer for about a year before it got worse. And I just was like, you know what? I'm not gonna continue to let this thing go work out like this. Let me just get on the phone and call AppleCare. So I called AppleCare. On the phone, I discovered that AppleCare for iMac computers or computers itself is actually longer than if it was a cellular device or a tablet. I didn't know that. They didn't really tell me how much longer, but they did tell me the coverage period is longer. I was unsure of how many years I had paid for AppleCare, so I never called AppleCare about this. I paid $169 AppleCare for iMac. I don't know how long that is. I think it was 3 years. I'm not too certain, but whatever. So I called AppleCare. Well, the whole purpose of me calling AppleCare was because the computer was just really slow. The operating system was just super slow, and they referred to it as the beach ball of death. So if you don't know what that is, this is the beach ball of death. I didn't even know there was a term they used to describe it. So when I went into the store, or when I called AppleCare and I was telling them like what the whole problem was, the representative was kind of like, the beach ball of death. And I'm like, so you know about this? If you So yeah, whatever. They ended up scheduling me an appointment with the nearest store that had certified Apple technicians in their store. And it was a store called Simply Mac. Now, this is a third-party organization that is partnered with Apple. They scheduled me the appointment, took the computer there, I met with the representative, and he discussed that initially they were gonna do a wipe of the system. They called this so they wiped the system completely. Since this company is a third-party company, AppleCare didn't cover this. I had to pay them $100 just so they could do a software system wipe and reinstall. So when I got to the store, the representative informed me that AppleCare doesn't cover anything that is software-based. It only covers hardware. So I'm like, you mean to tell me I pay for AppleCare and they're not gonna cover the software of the computer? Okay, where do I sign so I can pay for this? You know what I mean? So I paid the $100. I dropped the computer off October 31st, 2020. I picked the computer up. It took about 4 days, roughly 4 or 5 days. They called me like the following week, Monday, Tuesday, whatever have you. Told me to come pick up the computer. I went to go get the computer. So I got the computer back home. The computer was running really well for about a day. And then it started doing right back the beach ball of death. So I called them, I called Simply Mac back. and they tell me, drop the computer off, we'll figure out what's the problem and we'll go from there. So I bring iMac back to Simply Mac. They end up changing some hardware in the computer. Now there was one thing I noticed when I got it back the first time from Simply Mac. When I plugged in the power supply and I would rub my fingers across the back of the display, you could feel like an electrical surge. Kind of like it's like it wants to shock you, but the surge is just so minimal, it's not enough to actually inflict pain. But I could definitely feel an electrical surge on the back of the iMac screen because this is like a hard aluminum. That was something I told the Simply Mac representative, and he recommended them changing the power supply port on the back of the computer. That was one thing they were gonna change. The other thing they were gonna change was the logic board. They replaced the logic board inside the computer. And all of this was covered by AppleCare. I paid no money for the second visit. So after the fact, when all of this stuff had took place, they changed the logic board, power supply, got this thing back home, and boom, this iMac was ready to rock. This thing was running faster than I had ever seen it run. And when I got it back home, it was running better than ever. I never knew this computer could work as well as it did. But I'm thinking about upgrading because I run some editing softwares on this iMac and it struggles. It has a hard time performing. But this is the iMac 21.5 inch, 8 gig, 1 terabyte hard drive. I'm definitely thinking about getting myself the MacBook Pro 16 inch. So that pretty much sums up this video. So if you found this video helpful, like I said earlier, a like is always appreciated. If you guys enjoy this video, join the family, hit that subscribe button. I would love to do more videos like this for you all. And if you have any questions that I didn't cover, feel free to comment below. There were some things I may have left out. So comment below any questions you may have. And with that being said, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video with your family and friends. And we